Welcome to yet another edition of The Mic Drop, a revolution of a generation on Relaxed Radio Beyond Frequencies. I am Ebenezer, and as always, well, I kind of sometimes don't, come on the show anymore as often, but hey, I came back here on the show because I have a very, very special guest here with me. Now, this is quite the fun twist to this, right? Because we did have this very special guest last time as well. But the internet was homophobic, so we decided to get the guest into the studios. Ominda Lakshan, a youth LGBTIQ plus advocate. Thank you so much for joining. The mic drop.
Well, thank you for having me here. I'm so excited to be here finally. Yeah, the internet wasn't our friend that day, but I mean, like, we're here, and we're queer.
We're here and
Yeah.
we're great, definitely. Starting off with the bang as always. And this show is all about bringing in content creators, influencers alike, and youth activists, advocates of all kinds, where we can, bring in a different sort of ideology or different perspectives and narratives and ideologies that are not always the same, right? We can discuss taboo topics, which is something that we're going to talk about today, because the LGBTIQ plus community is very much viewed under the light of taboo, right?
Yeah.
Which brings me to, my very first question. But before that, Ominda, tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I am just a person living here. I mean, like, we're all like, trying to exist in a, in such a in such an economy, and yeah, I'm just here.
Just
really.
here.
Just here.
Right. So what are your, like, as a youth, what are your plans when we're talking about yourself?
I will have to say that I have a very explosive personality.
Explosive personality.
Yeah.
I mean, I could tell you, Omen is one of the funniest people I have genuinely met. Like,
Oh,
he
stop
came in
you.
through the door and just started, spinning his jokes right out and just making everyone laugh and making everyone here at Relax have a great time.
Come on, don't make me blush. No, keep it going, keep it going. I like it.
Well, we need a little bit of love all around, don't we?
Yeah.
But as always, we invite you to be a part of the show as well. You can dial up +44 785 247 3473. Once again, that is +44 785 247 3473. And hey, also follow us on our socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and you can just stay updated with us 24/7 365. And also, we do have a YouTube page which we are going live on right now, so subscribe there as well so you don't miss out on special programs just like the mic drop, the diagnosis, and politics 2.0. And also, we are broadcasting worldwide loud and clear on the Relax Radio app, by the way, which is completely available for free. So head on over to your Apple App Stores, your Google Play Stores, download the app, keep us running in the background so we can guarantee a great company as always, no matter what it is that you may be doing. With that said, of course, Ominda, let's move on to the first question. And I believe this is something that people are aware of. This is a very generalized thing, but let's see your opinion on it. So why do you feel like the LGBTIQ plus community, or just the topic of that, I could just say those words that represents different communities in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Why do they remain such a taboo topic to this day?
Well, in my opinion, it's basically just lack of education. Really, people don't really know what's going on within the community. They think it's some disgusting or this weird, abomination. But like, in reality, we're just people too. We're just people trying to live our lives like you. We're trying to, be ourselves, be happy, and just being able to love whoever we want to love. We're not doing anything. We're not like robbing banks. We're not like planning like mass genocide. We just want to coexist with you. We just want to be happy. That's all, really.
That's the ironic thing, right? Because people who are out there, they could be murderers, they could be robbers, and no one bats an eye on those people as much as they should be doing.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different narrative when it comes to just people living their lives and loving who they want to love.
I mean, that's how this world is conditioned to be.
That's exactly how this world is conditioned to be. That's very true. But what do you think? Obviously, I believe Sri Lanka, to some extent, I mean, I wouldn't say to a great extent, but we definitely have gone, a bit far in I guess, advocating for this community and
No,
opening
definitely.
up different avenues where they can speak up.
Hmm.
But how long do you think will it take for actually Sri Lanka to probably come to a point where we can say, hey, finally gay people can get married here?
Well, in my opinion,
Never.
okay. I mean, okay. We don't have to go that far, but like, in my opinion, it will take a long time. We have a lot, we have a long way to go to get there. But I mean, it's slow and steady. We're taking baby steps. It's still progress, right? So yeah, all we have to do is just keep on educating people and keep on, fighting for our rights, basically.
That's very true. So moving on to the next question. So what would you say are the struggles, right, one would face when trying to be openly LGBTIQ plus and fully express themselves? Yeah. So what are the common and also less commonly known fears and concerns the LGBTIQ plus community has when trying to be open?
Well, I think the number one fear is getting, hate crime.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, in my experience, I haven't experienced anything like that. I haven't, been actually hate crimed, and like,
Really?
yeah, I haven't. But I have experienced, like dirty looks and just judgmental expressions. Of course, you'll be getting that no matter what. That's just how things are with us. They just think we're weird, and we're like, oh, okay, sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
So apart from, I mean, obviously being in the community itself is not a privilege, but do you think you are in some sort of a privileged background where you are not getting as much hate as compared to someone who might not be in your position? Like, for example, let's take a child from a very rural area,
Hmm.
right, that has no access to much, let's say, the social media,
Hmm.
or probably have trouble making friends in school as well. So
That'll be way more harder for them,
a
really.
lot more harder.
Mhm.
So, what do you think we can do to, help and support people like them?
Well, people. Okay, so first of all, what you said, yeah, people in more rural. Sorry,
Bro, bro, bro.
rural, but like people. Sorry, people like more rural. I'm not gonna say that. People in more not urban areas. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yes.
those areas. It's just since like it's not really more developed like other areas like in Colombo or anything. It's gonna be way harder because like I'm not saying LGBT people are like a new thing. We've existed like
Since the
till
time, beginning of
till the
time.
beginning of time. But like the thing is, now it's the new thing is that it's being more accepted, especially in like urban areas. But in like small conservative areas with like less access to resources like social media or anything, people don't really know. Some people don't even know we exist, really. Some people don't even think there's something called queer, really, in those types of areas. And like yeah, it's going to be hard for people, like queer people like us, to live there, or like to even like learn about ourselves. But I mean, what we could do is just, again, just spread advocacy, spread awareness
Hmm.
and advocate for them. um like as you said, now, since there's not a lot of social media um coverage to them, we could like do something else, like maybe start like a TV campaign, or
Right.
yeah, or like a radio show, because like people listen to like what we're doing right now.
Radio a
Yeah,
lot.
we could
Yeah.
do that. And just just educate people more. Like we could also like talk to different schools. Like that's a stretch, but like I mean, it's still possible. And like yeah, that's what I have in mind for them.
Because like you said, people in those areas, obviously, like the rural areas, it's a very different mindset those people have. Like you said, some people are not even aware of the fact that such a community
Yeah.
exists. So in an area like that, when a child comes out and, I don't know, probably start engaging more with, let's just take, because it's a stereotype,
Hmm.
especially in a country like Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
because guys are not supposed to be girly or
Hmm.
feminine.
Yeah.
So if they do find a child being very feminine, then they're going to think that's something very abnormal,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
going to be very abnormal.
Hmm.
And then when you go into a school setting in an area like the rural area, obviously, even the teachers and people are supposed to properly educate these children. Even they're super homophobic, right? And
Hmm.
even, when you said in a school setting, you said, oh, yeah, it's a stretch.
It is a stretch because like even not even like with big schools like the ones in Colombo and stuff, they still don't even teach that because like again it's just homophobia. They don't think it's necessary for the children, or they think it's gonna turn them gay, or like they think it's just gonna just corrupt their minds, when really you're just educating them how to like take care of themselves, who they like let them discover who they really are. That's the whole purpose, that's the whole reason to be doing this. But no, they think something else. They think it's like some sort of this atrocity, really.
Yeah. So when you said, you haven't faced as much hate crime or hate crime at all, it was just, dirty looks and
Hmm.
whatnot. Do you believe there's some sort of, element that adds to that? Or is there any specific reason why you have not received hate crime?
Mm,
Because I see you are, even on your socials, like you are kind of openly out
yeah.
there. So why do you believe there was no hate crime?
Well, I think people, well, I just think that sometimes people, I
Could
don't
you
know.
get closer to the
Oh,
mic?
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no worries.
Sorry. It's all new to me. It's the first time.
No worries. Yeah.
But like, I just think the people that I encountered, most of them, they just they don't want to engage in any sort of contact with people like us. They just don't want to do anything. They wouldn't even like waste their time trying to like I don't know, like hate crime me. They just don't want to do anything with me. So just maybe like bat an eye or something to just move on with their life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's something that's actually quite surprising as well. Did you find yourself being surprised? So wow, why am I not getting as much hate crime?
Yeah, I am. I am pretty surprised. Like
Surprise.
I thought it was like supposed to get shot or something, but no, I'm still here.
Well, that's something that's really good. But I
Mhm.
believe, yes, having access to social media and, being on a platform like, for example, Instagram, right?
Mhm.
Like you see a lot of LGBTIQ plus advocates, communities that are supporting these groups as well,
Yeah,
posting on the daily,
I see. Yeah,
educating
yeah, of course.
to some extent, right?
Mhm.
And they do it, I guess, in a really nice way as
They do.
well. Like,
Yeah,
for example, I saw this, series of posts that were made describing with a cartoon character of how, what being bi is, what being gay is, what being lesbian is, like a proper separate description for each.
yeah. I
So,
love how they do that. They like add like cartoons and like little
right?
drawings to like attract more people, because it's more attractive than just reading a paragraph. So I really love that they're teaching educating people in that sort of way, because like people will listen, people will read that.
Yeah, that's
So
very
like,
true.
I'm kind of being honest here. Like I don't even read paragraphs. I just scroll, even if it's like about queer stuff. I just don't, because I don't want I don't. But if it's like like little like happy cartoons or pictures, I would like almost like stop to read
Exactly.
them.
Like, especially, like Instagram captions on posts, like
Hmm.
not many people especially have the time or the energy to do it.
Yeah,
Like you said, I would be that person. I wouldn't just, bother reading it. But if you have a different form of approach, like, putting in a very user-friendly manner,
yeah,
like
yeah.
with cartoons and
Nice.
whatnot, you
Yeah,
could get more reach and,
yeah.
educate people very easily.
Hmm.
But for anyone, by the way, hopping on board, this is Mic Drop, a revolution of a generation on Relaxed Radio Beyond Frequencies. I am Evan Ace, and for today's show, I have a very special guest who is also, by the way, one of the funniest people I know, Ominda Lakshan, or Arindi.
Yeah.
Arindi, expect some really, really good TikToks on the Relax Media page as well. We did some really cool, fun stuff. And, like you told Ominda before as well, this is not an interview per se,
No.
it's more of a conversation, it's not an interrogation. It's something that will help someone of your caliber as well. It's always a platform and an opportunity for you to come up and give out your authentic answers or whatnot. And we are Relax Radio, we have been able to do that for the past couple of months on the Mic Drop to bring about
As
a
y'all should.
change, as we
As we
should,
should.
because we
Period.
believe in unity, not in
Yeah.
division. But moving on to the next question, right? Do you believe using religion as a means to defend homophobia is fair? If yes or no, why?
That is okay. That is not fair. Like using religion uh as like barrier to your homophobia. That like what is like why? Like you can't. Okay. Now I'm not disrespecting any religion. Of course, I respect all religions, but like the thing with me is like, just keep that shit to yourself. I don't believe in that. If it doesn't affect your life, then why bother?
Like, stop pushing it on
Yeah,
other
stop pushing it
people.
on other people. Like, not all people, like, believes your is believes your religion, right? They don't follow in it. So like, it's not fair to like push your beliefs onto someone else who doesn't follow that. They're just trying to live their life. Like, if it doesn't, it does nothing to you. Okay, so like, just move on. Be happy with your family, and they'll be happy with theirs, with their life, and like, no one will get hurt. Because like, why do you think, like, being queer is like such a monstrosity? Like, what are we doing? Like, is the world gonna end? Is like, are aliens gonna like take over? Like, I never understood why put your nose into something that does not concern you in any way whatsoever.
And that's very true. I feel like it's just maybe not even like the religious scriptures actually were homophobic, but people probably just changed it the way they wanted to
Yeah,
change it.
yeah.
Because that is something I personally have, gotten to know about my religion.
Mhm.
But your personal, right, your religious background to yourself, has that ever been used against you?
No, I'm kind of one of the lucky people. I have no one has ever used my religion against me, because like, okay, I am born a Buddhist, right? But I'm not religious. But the thing with Buddhism is that they don't have any. It's nowhere there. It's nowhere written where it says, being gay is a sin. It's not written like that. The rules that are applied to straight people are also applied to, queer people. It's the same. The Lord Buddha taught people not to discriminate, no matter what your color, size, gender, sexuality. Like, just, yeah, that's what he preached. But I mean, like, culture got in the way then.
Culture.
Cultures and tradition, and then like, his preaches just got lost in translation.
That's true, because even in Catholicism, in the Bible, it says, love thy neighbor as you love yourself,
Mhm.
which is very ironic to me at the same time, because you are also being super homophobic, that you're literally choosing to discriminate someone just
Yeah.
because of the fact that the other person chooses to love someone of their own
The
gender,
fact that they say God loves everyone,
but not
but
you.
not you. Like, God loves everyone, just not you. You can scooch. We'll be here, not you.
Like,
But still, God loves everyone.
literally, like,
Yeah.
so what? People of this community are not human?
I have no that I mean, that's what they think. I think they think that we're just unicorns in disguise. Just pink rainbow unicorns in disguise. And we're just gonna, like, stab them with our horns. That's what I
That
think.
makes a lot
That's
of
the only plausible
this-
explanation
yeah.
here.
That, especially for how very stereotypically the color pink is associated with being feminine.
Mhm.
So when a guy is like gay, they think, oh yeah, this gay pink
Oh my
thing that's
God,
out to
you're
destroy people.
Ew, like, no, don't talk to me. Don't touch me. I have tissues in my bag. I'm just gonna no.
And I'm gonna spray perfume in your eyes.
Spray, pepper spray, perfume, Kleenex, everything.
Yes. Wow. See how funny Omin is. You see, he's even funnier, off air. So we
Come
all
on,
have a
stop.
great time. He just makes everyone happy and smile and laugh. So
That's
yes,
just
if
what I
you
want to do. Make everyone laugh and make
laugh
everyone
and
smile.
smile. Exactly. And even people of the LGBTIQ plus community, they just want to live their lives. Like, they just want to be able to exist. Like, no one's discriminating you for being straight.
No,
Right?
like, no,
Literally.
like, why? Literally, no. I have never seen heterophobia in my life. Heterophobia is not even a thing. I've never seen anyone say, "Hey, you're straight. You can't sit with us in the gay table," or like, "You can't sit with us and you can't sit with us. Just go scooch."
Exactly, right? Like, we don't do it, but then you do it to the people of this community.
Yeah, and like, it doesn't make sense. Just like,
It's a
why?
whole lot of BS at the same time as well. So this is something that I came up with, which I'm quite proud of. Like, people say, and I think everyone at Relax has heard it like a million times. But when someone says it's adamant Eve, not adamant Steve, I'm like, it's Homo sapien, not heterosapien. I'm like so proud of myself.
Preach! As you should.
As I should.
As you
Like,
should.
coming up with it. So that's basically, I don't know. It's really weird to me as well, because living in 2020, bigotry, homophobia, racism, it should just go out of the window. First of all, it shouldn't have existed in the first place.
Shouldn't have
But
existed in the first place, yeah.
but like,
Like,
moving on, technology, allows people to do their research. Like it takes just one Google search to realize this is not something that's abnormal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, totally. Like just like check your facts, people. Like Google is right in front of you. You just have to search, is gay wrong? And the answers will come. The answers
No.
will come. Like a big fat no.
A big fat no. So moving on to the next question, Ominda. Do you believe, those choosing to be openly LGBTIQ plus, according to, the stereotypical homophobes, are they undermining traditional cultural values?
Okay.
According from the perspective of obviously a homophobic stereotypical person that says, oh wow, it's culture, yada yada yada. But tell us, how being a part of that community, how someone of your caliber will not ruin the culture.
Okay, so let me speak out in a perspective of a homophobic person, using culture and tradition to defend their bigotry. Now, I agree. Like since like it's not a part of the culture, it's not a part of the tradition. They're like, hey, you can't do that. It's not traditional. It's gonna change the culture. Like,
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from, because like you don't want to change that. But I mean, at the same time, it's not fair to like say because of culture you have to do this or do that. Like you can't control a person because of your culture or traditions. Like it's not fair to like restrict that person from their basic human rights just because it says you have to love this person instead of that person. I'm like, if you do you can follow your you can follow the rules and your tradition, but like you don't have to apply that onto us, because like if we don't want to follow that, then just if we don't want to follow your traditions, then we won't follow your traditions. Just don't push that on us. We don't want that,
literally.
because like it does nothing to us. It does nothing to you, really. If we go out and do this, it does nothing to you.
Exactly. And I believe, religion and culture in general has only instigated violence. Like, I
Mhm.
don't see anything good. I mean, when you think about, for example, religious, I don't know, celebrations like Christmas or whatever, or like Aurudu, whatever you
Mhm.
name it. Yeah, they are good times. You can
Yeah,
feel good.
yeah.
But at the same time, you also realize how much of violence these religions have brought upon the world, right?
Hmm.
Think about how many people die probably on the daily because of religion alone.
Yeah, because of religion. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really the religion. It's not really the religion's fault. It's mostly the people who
It's
are
the
like.
people's
It's the
fault.
people who are like
Exactly.
preaching it and stuff. Like religion, in my opinion. Well, I'm not really a religious person, but like in my opinion, people have religion to have some sort of faith.
Something to
And
hold on
hold
to.
something to hold on to in their life, which is why they dedicate their lives to that religion, which is fine with you. Like you do that, but like not all people are like that. Some people don't rely on religion to have faith. They have other things to do, and like you can't really just force that upon other people. It's not fair to them.
Exactly. For some
Yeah,
people, just holding on to themselves is more than enough to get through life. You don't
yeah,
necessarily need a religion,
yeah.
which is kind of really wrong because I believe, as a stepping stone and as a foundation, giving religion from a very young age in terms of education is
Mhm.
totally cool because,
Yeah.
that kind of does, I believe, to some extent, send someone in the right path,
Yeah, true. Because like religion
right?
has morals.
Morals,
Morals, yeah. So
which are
like
just general human morals
general human
anyway.
morals, yeah, like don't walk naked in the street. Like that's a general moral. We should teach our children that, but like we should teach the basic general moral. I'm sorry, but like we should teach basic general morals, but not like you have to hate this minority because they're disgusting. No, that you shouldn't teach. You shouldn't push hatred towards a
That's not how
child.
it works.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
let me
how it
just
works.
adjust your mic there a
Oh
bit because
yeah.
I can't see your face.
Oh, okay. There we go.
There we
Hi.
go. But you
Okay.
need to kind of come towards the mic a bit.
Hello.
Towards this side,
This side.
front. As in, like turn your chair
Oh, okay.
to this way.
This way.
Yeah. And then just move, scoot towards this way. Ah, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's
Sorry.
perfect.
Okay.
No worries.
All right.
But yeah, this is, of course, the mic drop, a revolution of generation on relaxed radio beyond frequencies. I am Evan Ace, and this is
Ominda Lakshan.
or R&D.
Or
Well,
R&D. Yeah.
well, we are here to talk about the LGBTIQ plus community, the taboo that it is, and the oppression that is faced by the people in this community. To what extent? And also, we'll be talking about Ominda's experience, being a Sri Lankan and a youth in this country going through the Aragali movement and
Boy, do I have
everything.
experience in that.
Yeah, well, all of that. In the meantime, let's move on to the next question, right? So in terms of legalizing gay marriage, right? Obviously, Sri Lanka has a long way to go because forget about marriage just in general. Like you can't have PDA even as a straight couple in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
It's looked as something that's abnormal or
Hmm.
unordinary or whatever. Like, what do you think? Obviously, people in top platforms. I mean, obviously, we don't see that happening from the parliament. Like, maybe there are people who are allies for this community,
Hmm.
but they're not going to go out of their way and say, you know what, like,
Yeah,
let's
because
decriminalize
their career is at stake, so they
at
have to.
stake.
Yeah.
Exactly what sort of steps can, because for a really long time this has been happening.
Hmm.
Yes, we have come towards a point, like I said earlier as well, several avenues and platforms, just like this interview, it's open for people to come up and speak up. But at the same time, when are we going to take the next step? Like, what else can we do beyond that,
Beyond that.
to a point where we can go and say, you know what, yeah, PDA, allow PDA as well, and also legalize gay marriage.
Mhm. Well, I mean, all we can do for now is just advocate and sorry, educate people, advocate for our community, and just go out and protest for our rights, and just spreading more awareness through social media, and just letting people know that we exist, we're here, and we want the same rights as you have. Just let the parliament know, because like if we make a huge move, they're bound to know, right? It's like we just have to let them know that we're here and it's a total normal thing,
Mm-hmm.
and like um let us be, like
Mm-hmm.
like, because like we're not doing anything. We're not doing
Right.
anything. We're not doing anything harmful. So yeah, all I can say right now is just that, just keep on, never like give up on educating people, never give up on advocating, keep on protesting, just make a big move, make a big move, really
When we
make.
think of protesting, you mentioned protesting there right now. Think about the whole Argalia movement, for an example.
Yes.
They were protesting for just basic human needs of wanting food, fuel, and
Yes.
medicine.
Yeah.
That was completely, disregarded.
Hmm.
Do you think like protesting for this matter would be any different?
I mean, no, I don't think it'll be any different, because, like, yeah, yeah. Now people everywhere are protesting for just basic human rights, for like resources like food and water, and sorry, food and like gas,
Fuel,
fuel, and
yeah.
stuff, and
Hmm.
yeah, and like but like um if we can also protest for our rights too, because like again, it like we need our basic human rights too. It's not, we're not being selfish, we're just letting people know that hey, we need some more rights too, because like we're not trying to be selfish. We've been fighting for this, like for a very, very long time, and like just fighting for it now won't make any difference to it. We'll just
And even, protesting for this matter, it's still asking for basic human rights. It's asking, just let us exist.
just let us exist. Yeah, just let us exist.
It's just that, it's nothing, I don't know, out of the ordinary, or it's nothing magical.
Yeah.
That's what people look at it as.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you can still have your child's birthday party. We won't do anything. I mean, we might come for some cake, but like, yeah, just let us exist. We're not gonna do
like, let's
anything.
go out for some shopping. We're not gonna do anything
Yeah, we're not
else.
gonna do anything. We're not gonna bite you. We're
We're not gonna bite you, don't
not gonna bite
worry.
you. Yeah.
I mean, we're like monsters inside, but like, no, we're not gonna bite you.
Yeah, we're not gonna bite. We don't show our monsters.
We're just, little rainbows and unicorns that
Mhm.
just needs a little bit of love.
Yeah,
But
we won't stab you with our
we
horn.
won't
Don't worry.
stab you with that. That is very true.
Yeah, but like, in conclusion, yeah, just fighting for our rights at the same time won't do any difference, because like they're also basic human rights. That's what we're fighting for, really, just basic human rights.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Well, with that said, of course, we're going to move on to a very short commercial break. We will be right back. We are back on the mic drop, a revolution of a generation after that short commercial break. And as always, I'm just going to introduce my wonderful guest for today, Ominda Lakshan. Ominda, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for agreeing to do it second time around, because this is your redemption show.
It's my redemption show, yeah.
And Ominda's friends and everyone is showing support as well. You know, they're like, round two, let's go.
Now y'all better show me love.
Y'all better, like better.
Better.
Anyways, R&D, how's it going?
Yeah. It's just been, I'm rich. Yeah.
You could do the laugh as well, like with the close mic.
I'm rich. Look at my
Well,
rings.
he does amazing Ariana impressions as well. We did a couple of TikToks, which we will be posting them on the Relax Radio TikTok. So definitely go check them out because they're funny.
Yeah.
Well, we're funny.
Yeah.
Well, so we're gonna move back to more questions, but before that, I'm gonna invite everyone to follow us on our socials. We are there on Instagram,
Follow me
Facebook.
too. Like
Follow him
Give me
too.
clout. Come on.
Clout. We need the clout. Oh my god! Shout out. Like, what's your Insta at?
My Insta app is Ominda Lakshan at Ominda Lakshan.
Yeah. So do follow him
With
as
an
well.
HOE Minda Lakshan.
HOE Ominda Lakshan.
Yeah.
So definitely follow us and follow him as well. We are there on YouTube. So you can subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the notification bell. Well, that's something actually you can do by that way. You can stay notified on every single time we post. So you will not miss out on special programs just like this one, the mic drop, where we bring in content creators, influencers, activists, advocates of all types to give them an opportunity and a platform for them to voice out their concerns, their opinions, and of course, their different perspectives and narratives. With that said, of course, let's move right back into the questions. So my next question is, how would you say are the best ways for someone to advocate for LGBTIQ plus rights as an ally?
As an ally. Okay.
Yeah, like they're like not from the community, but how they can support.
The best thing that they can do is just again, spread awareness and educate people through social media, or like if you have people in your if you have like friends or your loved ones in real life, you can educate them, tell them like hey, it's a normal thing, you don't have to cry about it. And like yeah, that's the only thing really that they can do. Just show support, show love, and just educate people and spread awareness through social media and like anywhere where people can achieve the information that they need.
There's a twist to this as well, because people who do advocate or be an ally, for this community, they don't do it for one specific reason that I can think of, or two, either they are not, either they're homophobic,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Or they're afraid that they would be looked as part of the community too.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Because if you support them, they're like, oh wait, you're gay too. Like, ew.
That's a problem. Like, stop adding stereotypes. Like, other people can support other people of different minorities. Like, come on. Like, you don't have to be gay to like support your gay friend. Like,
Exactly.
that doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see where they come from that, which is why, like, even though they they support us, they just don't really show that support, because like they're afraid that they'll be seen as a part of the community, or they'll be like discriminated because they're like supporting something that they think the homophobes think that shouldn't be supported, but in reality like it really should. So I see their perspective in that. But again, if you're comfortable with it, like just show us some love, show us some support. That's what we really need.
Exactly. And it's all about just going out of your way to show a little bit of love and support to the people
If
of
you
this
can't
community.
publicly, at least just support your friend in secret, because like that will do a lot for that person.
Exactly. Just show a little bit of love and support as well, just like Aiden does. Well, Aiden is also here in the studios and he's on the other side. But we are having a great time here with Ominda, because Ominda is unapologetically being himself in contributing to the revolution of a generation on the mic drop, where we talk about taboo topics, as well as bringing in advocates and activists to voice out their concerns and opinions and give out different perspectives. With that said, so let's move on to the next question, right? So what would you say are the methods Sri Lankans should implement to learn to make society more empathetic and tolerant to different beliefs, especially with regards to sexuality and gender? Like, what sort of different approaches could they take?
Okay. Well, let me first of all, let me say Sri Lanka's society is already kind of an more of an empathetic society. Like if you like take like American society, like Sri Lankan society is more empathetic than that theirs. But like regarding to LGBT topics and stuff, yeah, we need some more empathy on that matter. So what we can do to make society more empathetic is, again, it's just spreading awareness and educating people. I don't really know what to say otherwise, because like what are you supposed to do, knock their door down and say, hey, support this or die? We can't do that. So like what we can do is just spread awareness and educate people in a polite and human in a human manner.
I really appreciate the fact that you brought out, the topic of being polite, because no hate, or I'm
No
not gonna
hate.
judge
Yeah.
anyone, but like I do see people of this very community also using aggression and violence to instigate, other people to sort of, oh no, you need to believe this, you need to be okay with it,
That's
kind
that's the
of.
problem with people from our community. You can't, like you said, you can't force it upon them. You just have to, have a calm conversation with them and just, express your opinions and your, facts to support your side of the argument, and just be polite. Talk to each other like humans, not animals. You don't have to scream or like pull each other's hair or like punch them in the face. You
Exactly.
have When we educate people, we have to educate them politely and like just talk to them like you're a normal friend or something. You can't just spread more hate, because like
Because you're fighting against the same
yeah,
thing.
it won't make us any better if we use hate and violence towards people who need to be educated, really. So that's the thing I'm telling you guys to do. Just be polite, be calm, and just spread awareness and teach them politely. That's all I'm saying. That's all we should really do.
So you told me you lived in Canada for
About like 10, 11 years.
10, 11 years. Tell us the difference. You seeing those households, probably had friends who were part of this community as
I
well.
do have friends.
And obviously, you might have seen, parents and families of those people was super supportive. And, probably they were all like in, like, yes, be yourself and all that. What sort of difference are you seeing? Obviously, there's a huge difference
It's a
when it
huge
comes
difference.
to the Sri Lankan community as well. What advice would you give to anyone who's willing to come out, especially in a household like Sri Lanka?
Now, I'm saying if you don't have to come out to anyone, you're not forced to. If you feel like you're comfortable to come out to people, then come out. But if you do not feel comfortable, please do not come out, because like if you are not in a safe environment, then it's best that you shouldn't do that, especially in households like Sri Lanka.
It's best to just completely, just take a step back
Take
and
this,
think
yeah.
about, because at the end of the day, yes, you need to be yourself and whatnot, but you need to be very vigilant about your surrounding. Like it could go really
It could
wrong.
go really wrong. Yeah, you have to, even though you have pride in yourself, you have to think about your safety. Really, it won't make a difference. You will still be who you are, even if you're just
You're just not gonna turn straight just
yeah, you're
because you
not
don't
just
come
gonna turn. Yeah,
out.
you can stay in the closet as long as you want. Just come out when you're ready, when you feel like it's safe, when you feel like it's time. Do not force yourself. And to other people who, let's say you have a gay friend and like that they're gay, but you know that they're not out. Please do not out them. That is the most horrible thing that you can do. Like, if they're not ready to come out, then please just keep that a secret. Respect that, and do not out him to anyone. Because I've had experiences like that, and I mean, it's
It's
not a nice
not
it's
a
not a nice time. It's not a good time.
exactly
Yeah,
like, because coming out once again, it's a really, I don't know, it's a lot, it's very heavy, right?
it's
To even
very
think
heavy. Yeah.
about it, and to have someone do it for you without your consent, it's
Yeah,
like,
that is it's like it's just like blurting out a huge secret. It's basically that. Yeah, you don't want people to tell your secrets to someone that, yeah, you don't want anyone to
especially
tell
if
you.
it is something that's gonna, depend your life on,
Yeah.
right? Exactly, because these things are very, very soft and fragile if you're talking about, especially in a country like this.
Yeah.
So just like Ominda said, definitely be aware when you do that. I just see something happening on your hair.
What is going on? Why is it like that? Wait, why is it like
Some
that?
sort of 80s effect on your hair.
I think it's the microphone. No, I mean the headphones. Why I can't. Sometimes this is why I hate my hair.
Your hair is cool, like go girl.
Is that better?
There you go. Yeah, that's much better.
No, it's bad like that again. Shit.
Yeah. So, let's also now coming to the whole Argalia movement and everything, right? The current crisis. I do know because that's where we met at one of the, I mean, I
Oh,
couldn't
yeah, that's
come.
where we met.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't come to the Pride Parade. I'm so sad. I still
It's
couldn't
okay.
come.
It's all right.
But, we did got to meet later on somehow.
Mhm.
We had a really great time.
Mhm.
And there's this like concert kind of thingy as
Yeah.
well.
I was gonna sing, but like they had it was a full house, so like I couldn't.
Really? Oh my God, I would
Yeah.
have loved to see you
I
sing.
know. I wanted to.
But one of our friends sang and we really
Mhm.
enjoyed
Oh my
it.
God, he's such an amazing friend. I love him so much. His name is Oshinda. I'm pretty sure he's watching this. If you're watching this, hello, I love you.
Well, so tell us, especially during the crisis as well, do you think the discrimination towards the community was a lot more or was it a lot less due to, the protests being included by all kinds of people in there?
I think that now the discrimination towards us it's less, just not like a lot, but it's a little less in my opinion, because like um again, no hate crimes yet, but like we still get some dirty looks and stuff, but like yeah, it's reduced.
It is. But there's also this thing where people, because I've seen it myself, right? Like,
Mm.
especially in Instagram comment sections,
Oh.
where there's like, some posts of LGBTQI plus, something related to that, where it is also connected to the Aragalian movement and
Mhm.
all that. And someone in the comments is like, let's not make it about
Let's not make it
this.
about them. Like
Exactly. So
let's
what
stop
would you
giving
say
them
to
the
people like
spotlight.
that?
I would tell them to just sit down, have some milk, and just please just
Wait, what does Ariana say? Like, sit down, be humble.
sit down and be humble. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like to those people, I mean, we're not trying to like, steal your spotlight, if
Spotlight.
that's what you're being concerned about. We've been here for a long time. We've been fighting for, the same thing for a long time. It's just, again, all we're fighting for is basic human rights for all. We're not making it about ourselves, because like the pride protest at Godagogama, what it wasn't really mostly about us or concerning LGBTQ, rights. I mean, yes, there was that, but it was mostly about the current crisis that's been going on. People were chanting, "Go home, and go to jail." That's what we were chanting. And there's a few signs, and there's a few people who were shouting like, "Love is love," and don't spread hate. We were just mostly fighting for like what everyone else is fighting for right now. It's basic human rights. Yeah, and like what's so wrong if we're also fighting for our rights, because like that's also needed for us. They're also
Exactly.
basic human
right.
rights.
Like, no one was going in deep into the whole decriminalization.
We're not trying to take over the country, if that's what you're if that's what you're scared about.
What you're worried about.
We're not turning everything rainbow. If you're scared of that, don't worry. We're not here to dominate. I mean, that would be a nice. That would be a little,
That would be amazing.
that would be amazing. But like, no, we're not like that. So don't worry.
It's like, we're gonna let you be straight. Don't worry.
We're gonna let you be straight. Don't worry.
But anyways, also tell us, the whole GGG, movement and everything. What sort of an impact did it have on the community as well? Because, like you said, people of this community have been fighting for years.
Mhm.
Did they sort of escalate that fight, as in, in a good sense? What sort of impact did it have?
I feel like
Apart from us both meeting.
of course. But I mean, yeah, with the whole GGG movement, the whole Aragaya movement, it impacted us in a good way, because like it made it more easier for us to fight for our rights as well, since everyone is fighting for their rights now. So it made it easier for us to fight for our rights too, because like we're all just we're all the communities, like all the minorities are just gathering together and just fighting for one thing, really, having fun while doing it, and like just fighting for our rights, really.
That's true, because I think people do believe, especially the homophobic people, they think the people of this community have nothing better to do with their lives.
What do you mean? Like we're fighting for our rights? What do you
Exactly.
what better thing is there than
Than fighting for basic rights.
yeah, like what better thing? I'm sorry, I'm malfunctioning. Like I don't know. Like I'm just it's hard to process. Like what better thing
Buffering in
is
real
buffering?
life.
Yeah, in reality. Like okay, huh?
But yeah, like it's so, when you think about the kind of ideologies these people have, the homophobic ones, it just does not make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I can't mentally grasp what they're trying to say.
Have you ever had an argument with a homophobe?
I have many times, and what they're saying, I don't
Like,
I don't understand.
Describe an experience, one experience.
On TikTok, it was one of my comments. A dude saw the rainbow flag that was hung on my wall, and like he said, "Oh, there we go, a sign of mental illness." I'm like,
Oh
yeah, he went there, and I was like, mental illness? I mean, honey, I do have mental illness, but being gay is not mental illness. HWO crossed that off years ago. I've been, giving him full facts, and he just kept denying, like he doesn't want to, cooperate. That moment, maybe you can rip their heads off, but like,
let's not show love there.
Let's not show love there. No, I'm kidding. Just don't just be polite with them, even if they're getting on their if they're getting on your nerves. But like,
For
yeah,
real.
they just kept denying the straight facts that I'm giving. And it's like, no, gay is disgusting, and like yada yada. They're using words like disgusting, and that's so gay, and like, yeah, no shit, it's gay.
It is like,
yeah,
it's insane. And part of this obviously comes from not just having a very stereotypical family background, but it's also the lack of education, which we come to school educational systems once again.
don't get me there on school education.
Like, I don't think, like you said, I don't think there's one school out there that is pro LGBTQ.
No,
Because
no.
obviously, I believe even schools, let's say the management, they want to include that, but they're going to be so afraid of homophobic parents
That's
coming
the
at
thing.
them, right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, you also can't include it into the educational system, because the child is going to go home, right, with homework about LGBTIQ plus, and the parents are going to come to school the next day and be like, what's this?
They're gonna burn down the school, really.
Really, they are going to. That's the main reason you can't talk about sex education, like periods,
Sex
menstruation,
education
and all
and
that.
yeah, that sex education in general is seen as a huge no-no here, which is like really weird to me, because like you need that to like avoid some stuff.
Literally.
Yeah. So like yeah, the way I taught the way I got my sex education is just I went on the internet, I went on YouTube and stuff, and searched,
Right.
how do I do this or how do I do that, especially with being queer, like how do you have safe queer sex, or like how do you like prepare for that. I go on YouTube, I go on the internet to educate myself. They don't teach you that in school. They don't even teach basic sex education too. It's just they just completely ditch that topic. My sister, she's in grade 7, so like her science textbook had like a part about sex education, how like periods work, and like how babies are made. She said like they didn't teach that. They just skipped
completely
it.
ditched it.
They completely ditched it. Yeah. And I was like okay, wow.
How are we going to move forward as a country, as humans in general, if you're literally not teaching something that's basic, that's biology?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I have no idea. This country's just gonna drown. That's
So
the
you're
thing.
gonna submerge.
It's just gonna submerge, and we're like, bye.
We'll be waving and just
I'm just waving the white flag.
flag will be waving.
Yeah, like okay, bye.
Well, that's why, especially, we do need that sort of education.
The
But
thing is, they're afraid that they'll go do that stuff, like like we're just some horny
Right.
monsters. I mean, technically we kind of are horny monsters, but like that's because of the hormones.
yeah,
But like we're not gonna go do that, because like you have to be educated, because they're gonna go do that regardless. They're gonna find out some way,
exactly.
and without the proper education, there's just gonna be a bump. Just a bump, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and like that's where you're gonna have to worry.
Exactly, because why we have, I'm just gonna say it out loud, right? Even boyfriends these days, they think periods are disgusting.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what? That's because as a child, like, they were not told that this is something that's normal. You shouldn't be oppressing and discriminating the females just because they are going through a natural biological process that they did not choose to go through.
I know, like periods are just a normal thing. It's a part of, biology. Why should you shame that? Really, really, yeah. And like I see like in like some stores when women ask for like period pads, the cashiers they just wrap it around with like newspaper, and it's just I never got that. Like, why do they do that? So like I asked my mom one day, and she said because it's embarrassing to like hold period pads, and I was like, but
Why?
why? It's just like a diaper, but for women. Like why? Like
Like, you don't feel ashamed when you buy diapers for kids.
yeah, but like why is this shameful? I
It
have no idea. Just I
it's
don't get that.
it's just so marginalized too. I feel like
Hmm.
it's like looked at as, oh, let's just separate it and keep it, like that's very alien.
Hmm. Yeah, they just alienate that.
It's just, yeah, it's not something that we should be talking about, kind of feel, which is the problem. Because when each other of different genders, you are not aware of what the other gender is going through. That's why we have so many rape cases, so many sexual assault cases within the country.
Again, that's lack of education with the sex educational area. This is lack of education. Yeah.
Because I feel like a typical macho straight guy looks at, like, very homophobic as well. He just looks at a woman like, oh wow, this is something very alien, let me just go and explore that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he had education,
If you had education, you wouldn't do that.
he wouldn't do
You
that.
wouldn't do that.
Like, you're trying to find ways to avoid these things happening, but you're also not implementing what needs to be done.
And then they blame it on women. They just blame it on women because like, oh, you got raped, that's your fault because you're wearing that. No, it's not because what I'm wearing. You have to control your urges.
Exactly.
Period.
You should be able to walk alone at night without anything
Yeah,
happening to you.
you guys are not animals. You can control yourself. You're human, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a clear cut difference, right? There as well. It all comes down to lack of education. At the end of the day, there also could be education, but you willingly choose to do something wrong.
Yeah.
That is also there. But at the end of the day, if you do have the basic foundation and knowledge on, yes, these are normal, natural things, you're not going to look at it as something that's alien, that's something that's out of the world. You just can let someone live and live your own life as well.
Yeah. That's what we want, really.
That's exactly what we all want.
What we all want.
Exactly. So moving on to something that's kind of not related to, this community and the topic we're focusing about mainly. Give us your thoughts about, the current economic crisis. Like, what sort of difficulties have you had to face as a youth in this generation?
Well, I mean, just to get here took me a lot of
Let's start there.
Yeah, let's start there. Yeah, especially just the expenses now since they've like tripled with like transportation, food. It's really hard because like you earn so much and you have to spend so much for stuff that shouldn't be this expensive, like milk. Like example, milk, it's like tripled in price and you can't even find it now. Really, it's a rare thing. Milk shouldn't be rare.
Milk shouldn't be rare. Like,
Milk should just be milk is something you need every day.
I like love milk. I'm a very dairy person,
love
and
milk
I'm
too.
like literally starving right now thinking of milk.
I need milk too.
We should go get milk after this.
This sounds sexual.
That probably did. No.
Keep your minds out of the gutter.
Out of the gutter.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem. We could talk about milk and you take it the wrong way.
Yeah, like that's how we are. But like, yeah, I have to say, as a youth without a job in this current economic crisis, it's pretty hard. It's pretty something. It's something, but I'm jumping over the obstacles and just living.
And
Yeah.
also, obviously on your socials as well, you're obviously advocating for supporting the whole thing arrogantly, on your
Mhm.
socials as
Yeah.
well, because you do share posts
Yes,
and
I do.
whatnot. But tell me, what do you think about the people that are choosing to stay silent? Either they could be pro-government,
Mhm.
or they're just afraid of putting it out there. What would you say to people like that? You are literally very, this is a common problem that maybe you are privileged, but that's a different story. At the end of the day, everyone is affected in some form of way. Even if you are the richest person, you could still be in field queues,
I
right?
know.
What
Yeah.
would you say to people that are literally choosing to stay silent?
I feel like you shouldn't. you shouldn't stay silent for something that affects not only you but like a whole ass country. Like, come on, speak up. Yeah, you should use you have a voice, use it, amplify it. Speak your truth about about this whole mess of a country. All we need right now is just more support from people. And if you are a person who doesn't who is in favor of the Argyle movement but is a little afraid, then just take your time and just yeah, just take your time. It's totally fine, but like still don't be silent about it. Just um speak out. And if you're pro government, just educate yourself. We don't want you here.
Literally, like
Yeah.
at this point, even it's not about choosing a side. Like you can't be on, or this side, that side. You can't be neutral either. Like it's either you're with us or you're against us, right?
Yeah.
Because
And if you're against this, you're against yourself, really.
really, literally, because
Yeah.
like everyone, we're not fighting just because we don't have milk. Like literally, people are dying standing in field queues. How many deaths have occurred at this point? There are people dying in hospitals without medicine
That,
that would
that,
have otherwise saved them.
that breaks my heart right there. Just seeing these hungry people just trying to feed their children and just sacrificing their lives and like fuel lines and like trying to get medicine. Just it's totally unfair. No, it's nothing like this is happening around the world. It's only this country, and that's because of how this government handled you know this country. It's just really heartbreaking to see that. And
It
I
really is.
really wish I could do something more. But like again, I'm just a small boy from a small town. I can't really do much, but just again, educate people.
But I believe you have done so much more than most people out there as well. I mean, just sharing a post on social media and
Sharing a
then
post on social media will do so much more.
so much,
So
it will do
much.
so much. And you were there at the Pride Parade, you were there
Mhm.
out there,
Yeah.
talking about these things and spreading awareness as well. So obviously you did something. Like there is an impact. Compare that to someone who's literally just sitting there doing nothing.
As Kim Kardashian said, get your ass up and work. Get your fucking ass up and work.
Literally, like do something.
Do something. Yeah. Just do something. Just even share a post. That will be amazing. Just do something.
Because let's say you have a follower from a country overseas, right?
Mhm.
Like they could see your post, click on it, and then get educated and probably share it around their
Yeah.
socials as well. That is how you spread the word.
That's how you spread the word. Yeah.
That's how you spread the
That's what
word.
we need right now.
And I'm just gonna be honest. Honestly, the way the world responded to the current economic crisis is not at all what it should have
Not at
been.
all accurate.
The UN was being silent. I'm like, they just posted a tweet like, oh, the person should be doing this and that. Like, what do words do at this point?
I know. I totally agree with you. And like even before like this whole thing, people didn't even know that Sri Lanka existed. Yeah, they don't
Literally.
know Sri Lanka exists. And like it's just I don't know why, foreign media is treating us like we were not important. Like we're a country in this world. We need help, like urgent help. Why aren't you doing anything? Just saying, oh, look, something's going on over there. Okay.
Like you shouldn't be killing people, but like that's
Yeah,
it.
you,
Like,
you post more about celebrities, but not this. You post more about Ariana, but not us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. So that is where the change needs to happen. I mean, to
Mhm.
think that a country that is going through such chaos did not receive the support it should be receiving from the National Rights Council, it's like insane to me. That is something that I will always hold them accountable for and
Yes.
against.
Yes.
So with
Totally.
that said, of course, sadly, we have come towards the end of the program.
Already?
I-
It's been like barely 10 minutes.
I know, right? That's how it feels. It just goes by in a flash. I just
Wow.
definitely had a lot of fun.
This
but
is
Ominder-
homophobic. Really
It's
homophobic.
homophobic,
Yeah,
right?
I know, right?
Time is homophobic.
Yeah, time is homophobic. We should cancel time. Twitter,
Yeah.
be on the move.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
with that said, of course, Ominder, what are your last few words to everyone listening in and watching as well, in terms of advocating for LGBTIQ plus and also supporting and also to people in this very community and also to the homophobes?
Okay, first of all, to the people who want to support us and to the people in this community, just again, educate. Do not start fights. Do not start wars. Just educate like human beings, spread awareness, and just love each other. Just spread love, spread happiness. That's what we really need around the world. Just love and happiness. And to the homophobes, please educate yourself, or you can just go back to the third grade. That's what I have to say.
It's like way back, like go back into non-existence.
Please, that will do the whole world a favor, the whole universe a favor.
The whole universe of flavor. Thank you so much, Ominda, for agreeing to do this, and thank you
Of
for
course, this was
coming
so
for
much.
round 2 and redemption.
Yeah, my
Did you
re-
get
I-
the redemption?
Of course I did.
You did.
Yeah, this was so much fun. I mean, of course I was like, like peeing my pants because I was like very nervous, but like this was an amazing experience, and I'm really glad I agreed to this.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I
Of
had the
course.
most amazing time as well. We're gonna go have some milk after this,
Yeah,
and we're gonna have a
Yeah.
great time as well. With that said, we are gonna end this live broadcast after mic drop, a revolution of a generation. Have yourselves a great Sunday ahead.